All right, let's get into this story right now. Because Charles Barkley and Skip Bayless, they got beef, and I'm tired of counting it, but I ain't tired of watching it and hearing about it, right? But they have been going at it for years and years. All right, so we know Shannon got bought out from Fox Sports, and we know all of that story. Just covered a little bit of it last segment. So now, here goes Barkley on air saying, quote, I don't do social media, so I get all my information on Bleacher Report. I read an article today. If you work with a damn idiot, they'll buy you out. And Barkley said it as he glanced around the room to make sure they were on to what he was talking about, right? Not so subtle approach right there. He said, I'm saying, I read it. And then Chuck, stop. You know, Shaq. Shaq is the best at doing this. And that's my favorite role too. The instigator. Like, he ain't starting nothing, he just gonna keep it going, like, right, you know what I'm saying? And so he like, Chuck, stop, which means go, Chuck, I'm on with you. And then Barkley says, Shaq, it's not you. It's not Ernie. It's Kenny, but apparently if you work with a damn idiot, they'll buy you out. So I just want you to know, I'm open to the buyout. I didn't know it was that easy. Now, Barkley's been using Skip as a punching bag for decades, dog, like forever. Even going too far, I even got to admit this, saying that he, quote unquote, killed him during multiple interviews over the years. All right, to me, saying that is almost the same as pulling a gun out. You know, some things you don't do unless you're going to do it. You know what I mean? Don't pull this out unless you're going to use it. Don't say you're going to kill somebody, even in jest. I don't think kill ever goes to the jest conversation, even though I know he doesn't mean it, so I'm not being that sensitive. I'm just saying that ain't the energy we need on some Pac Biggie stuff. Like, let's just stop it right now, even in sports media. Okay, so now Skip laughed at Charles Barkley for accusing him of being sensitive, and he like, what? And so they going back and forth. Skip has his podcast. Obviously, Charles has Inside the NBA. Here's what Skip had to say. Charles has been taking shots at me for, seriously, 20 years. I never care about anybody taking shots at me unless that somebody repeatedly says on national TV he would like to kill me. This coming from Barkley, just completely unprovoked. I have never criticized Charles Barkley one time. I have never said anything personally about him. Okay, two issues with that. One, Skip knows that he does have an issue if someone takes the shot at him. Therefore, that's why no one who works with him, works around him, takes shots at him, because they still wanted to work with him. So that's not true. We all know that. We got receipts of that. Actions speak louder than these words. The second part I have an issue with is that he's never said anything personally about him. It's interesting when you say that, because I don't have the receipts on this, but by conjecture, I would just say, if you're talking about someone professionally, the way Skip talks about people professionally, then that's going to be personal. Here's the case in point. If Westbrook got a problem with him, say, I'm going to kill you, you can hear Skip say, well, you know, I've never said anything about him personally. But you have. Because by talking about him professionally and calling him Westbrook and then leading and bleeding those two lines of personal and professionalism, now that's my point. So I think Skip right now is trying to win with a war of words, but is going to lose that battle. All right, so between their feud of all that, Barkley doing a little too much call, saying I'm going to kill him, and Skip not responding, but finally Skip's like, look, I'm up to it. Barkley always says that Skip is sensitive, right? That's his thing. I'm sensitive. But then Skip is like, look, I waited 20 years to do that, to finally say something, and now I'm so sensitive. I'm still laughing about that one. Not with Charles, but at Charles. So Skip, he kind of winded up. You know how them old school, like the Little Rascals, remember they used to wind their shoulder up, and the Three Stooges? Like, old people got to warm up before they fight. Skip is doing this with the shoulder, like, I'm about to start punching back at you, Barkley, like some old Rocky right there. So you can smell it coming right now. So Skip said he won't be biting his tongue for 20 years again, claiming every time Barkley jabs him, wow, he's going to punch right back. Counter, which means there will be many more conversations and back and forth on this between Skip and Charles. And my theory is, deep down, Charles resents me, says Skip, because I all too often see and say things that he wishes he had seen and said. Okay, so 20 years he didn't say anything personally about him, but now gloves off because you've been punching too much. Gotcha, Skip. But here's the thing. You just said, you say things that Barkley doesn't want to say. I don't know the person that is alive walking this planet that's like that. And ironically, a few months ago, Bayless admitted he envies Barkley's ability to say whatever is on his mind without fear or threats of being canceled. Because Skip is playing both sides. I think Barkley's going to win this one by punching straight down the middle. What do you guys think in this beef? How's it going to end?